Hi guys, welcome back again to another video. In today's video we are going to be making this beautiful bubu short gown. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please continue watching. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video to your family and friends. For this tutorial, these are the measurements you need to take. You need your shoulder, your sleeve length, your biggest circumference, mine is hip, and you need your gown length. For this tutorial, these are the two materials you need to make this gown. This here is a two net. You can use organza. I'm using two because this is what I have at this moment, and this is the African print. This is Ankara. I have it in 2 years. You are going to be managing the 2 years, but I advise to get 2.5 yards. So here I already fold my fabric here, the whole 2 years. I already fold it into two, like as you can see. This is it now. I'm going to take it and fold it again, making 4 fold. So you are going to take that folded part and you are going to take it to that opening one, the two you already fold. So in total here I have 4 fold. So we are cutting the front and the back. If you are working with more than 2 yards of fabric, this is how you will know the amount of fabric you are going to fold. You are going to measure your shoulder measurement divided by 2, and you are going to add your sleeve length to it. That is the total of the measurements you are going to put on fold. And remember, you need to fold the front and the back together, making 4 fold. So what I want to do now is, because we are managing this 2 yards of fabric, I want to cut out the material that we are going to use for the pocket. So I'm going to mark my full length, the full length of the gown. I'm using 36 inches. So the rest, the 10 inches, because Ankara is 46 inches, so the 10 inches I'll cut it out and use it for the pocket. So this is it here. The length is 36. I cut out 10 inches for the pocket, and I'm still going to use this for the band. So the first thing I want to do is I'll come to this upper part. I'm going to mark ½ inch. You are going to mark ½ inch, and this ½ inch will be where you are going to be starting all your measurements. So the new line now will be the shoulder line. So all the measurements will start from that line. So the next thing I want to do is to mark my shoulder to the chest line, but because this is a free gown, I will not be using the chest line. I will be using my shoulder to the bust point line. So shoulder to the bust point line is 12 inches. So I'm going to mark that 12 inches and I'm going to connect it into a straight line. So this is it now. Remember, you are starting all the measurements from the folded part, not the opening part. So I'll come to the opening part and I'm going to mark my neck width. I'm using 3 inches. So this is it now. Then from that point, I'll be marking my back measurement, my shoulder measurement. The shoulder is 16. From that point now, I'm going to mark my sleeve length. The sleeve length I'm using is 11 inches. So here I have 9.5. So I'm going to add extra 2.5 inches of the band to the sleeve. So I'll come to this opening point. I'm going to come down by 1.5 inch. This is for our slope, for the shoulder slope. So you come down by 1.5 inch. Then you are going to connect it to meet the neck width. So this is it here. After that, I'll come to the chest line. I'm going to divide my hip by 4, then I will add 3 inches to it. The hip I'm working with is 48, divided by 4 is 12 inches. Then I will add extra 3 inches to it. So it means in total on that line, I have 15 inches there. You can use 4 inches if you want this gown to be full, but 3 inches is okay for me. So I will take that 15 inches, I will take it to the hem of the gown, then I'll connect it to have a straight line. So this is it. After that, I'll come back to the chest line. I'm going to come down by 2 inches, then I'll curve it like this. This is how this side is going to be. So after that, you are going to come to the folded part again. Then you are going to mark your neck depth. I'm marking the neck depth for the back first. I'm using 1.5 inch for the back. So you are going to connect it like this. So this is the back neckline. For the neck depth for the front, I'll be using 3.5 inches. But if you want your neck to be high, you can use 3 inches. But I want my neck depth to be 3 inches. So from the shoulder line, I come down by 3.5 inches. Then I'm going to connect it like this. So this is the neck depth for the front. Then from the neck depth for the front, you are going to come down. There is slits at that point, so you are going to come down by 4 inches. You can use 3 inches depending on what you want. So I'll come back to the neck depth. I'll go in from the folded part by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to connect it, or I'm going to slant it like this. So at this point, what you have at this point will look like V. So after that, you come to the shoulder line. You are going to add 1/2 inch to the shoulder line. This 1/2 inch is to join the front and the back together. So this is it now. After that, I'll cut it out. I'm cutting from the back neckline. After cutting the back, I'm going to cut the side also before I cut out the front neckline. After you are done cutting it out, you are going to open it up, then remove one from it. Remember, it's two. We fold the front and the back together. So I will remove one from it, and this one will be for the back. After that, I'm going to fold it again to cut out the neckline for the front. After that, you are going to cut out the neckline for the front. After you are done cutting it out, so you are going to open it up, and this is what we have for the front. This is how the front neckline is. As you can see, the V shape, and this is the back also. So what I want to do now is I'm going to keep the back now, and I will work on the front. So for the front, I want to mark where my pocket is going to start from. I want to mark where my pocket is going to be. So I'll fold it back into two again. Then from the hem of the front now, I'll come up by 8 inches. You can do more than this. It depends on where you want your pocket to be. But from the hem, I'll come up by 8 inches. After that, I'll connect the 8 inches. I'll connect it into a straight line like this. So after that, I will come to the opening part, the side. This is the side here. I will go in by 3 inches. So this is where I want my pocket to be. You can come in by 4 inches. Depends on how wide you want the pocket to be. For I think 3 inches is okay. So from that 3 inches now, you are going to mark the length of your pocket, how wide you want the pocket to be. Because we don't have enough fabric, so I'll bring out the pieces that I cut out. This is the pieces I cut out, so I'm going to check what I have there. So I have 9 inches there. I will not be using that 9 inches because we need half inch to fold the pocket on the both sides. So I'm going to use 8 inches for how wide I want the pocket to be. So from that 3 inches now, you are going to mark 8 inches. So from that point now, you are going to go up by the length you want your pocket to be. So I want the length of the pocket to be 9 inches. So from the first line, I go up by 9 inches. Then I'm going to connect it into a straight line. So after that, I'll come to this point and I'm going to mark 9 inches also. Then I'm going to connect it also into a straight line. Remember, you need to have a straight line at that point. So I'll go in by 3 inches we marked earlier. Then I'm going to connect it together like this. Then I'll connect this point as well. So this is where the pocket is going to sit when you want to sew it. This is the box that you are going to place your pocket. So whatever you mark on this line, you are going to flip it to the other side, and you are going to mark the same thing for this part also. So I'll do it off the camera. So this is the two pockets. As you can see, this is how they are now. So the next thing is to cut out the pieces that we need for the pocket. So here, this is the two pieces we need for the pocket. And the length, remember the length we mark on the fabric is 9 inches. So I make the length 10.5, because you need half inch on the downside and you need 1 inch to fold it at the upper part, that opening. Then for the width, I have 9 inches here. Remember we mark 8 inches. You need half inch on the both side. So this is how you are going to fold it. So that part that you want to be the upper part, you are going to fold in half inch, then you fold it again. It means you fold it 2 times, and that is 1 inch. So after you have done folding it, you are going to take it to your sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it like this. So you go ahead to go and sew it. You do the same thing for this other end. And after you are done, after you are done sewing it, you are going to fold the both side and the downside also. So this is it here. As you can see, after sewing it, I went ahead to fold all the edges by half inch. Remember we add half inch to it. So this is what I have for the both pockets. So if you measure it now, you will see that the length is 9 inches while the width is 8 inches. So this is the two pockets here. For the ruffles on the pockets, so I'm going to measure what I have around the pocket. So you are going to measure everything that you have at this point. So here, when I measure it, I have about 28 inches there. So I already go ahead to go and cut out my two nets. These two nets, I already use it, is a leftover. So if you are making you can buy 1 yard of two nets. So I already cut it out and is measuring 5 inches, and the length is, I multiply the 29 inches by 4. That is what I have for the length of the two. So now I'm going to fold the 5 inches. I'm going to fold it into 2 now. So if I fold it into 2, I have it is 2.5. This is how I'll go and gather it to the 28 inches. Remember the length is 28 inches. That is what we have for that we need for the pocket side. So I'll go ahead to go and gather it. After that, I'll come back to show you the next thing to do. So this is the two now. I already gather it, and I'll open the pocket part. So this is how it's going to be when you are done. This is how you are going to place it when you want to sew it. The tools will be on under the pocket. So this is the main fabric now, and you are going to place the pockets now, the pieces for the pockets, on the mark you made earlier. So this is it now. So to place the tool on the pocket, you are going to arrange the tool very well. Then you open the pocket and you will place the tool underneath it. Just watch the way I'm placing it. Then you are going to start pinning it. When you are pinning, make sure the tool is underneath the pocket. That is how it's going to be. So when you are done, this is what you will have. Then I'm going to do the same thing for this other parts. I will do this one, I will do it off the camera, then come back to show you. So this is what we have for the two pockets now. Now you take it to your sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it. Just look how I'm using my hand to mark that place. That is how you are going to go ahead to go and sew it. So this is it after I am done sewing the pocket. This is what we have for the pocket. So the next thing to do now is to go ahead to go and cover the slits for the front. So to do that, I want to cut out the facing for the slit. So I fold the front, I fold it into two like this. After that, I'll pin it together. So this is it now. So I'm going to go ahead to go and cut out a piece of fabric. I'll fold the fabric into two now, and that folded part will be on the center of the front. The folded part will be on each other. So make sure you arrange it like this. Then you are going to pin the both facing and the main fabric. You are going to pin it together. After that, you are going to cut it out. Just look the way I'm cutting it. So this is it now. I'm going to remove the pins there, then show you the next thing to do. So here, this is the facing here. As you can see, the V shape there, and this is the main fabric. So this is how you are going to place it. You are going to place the facing on the neckline like this. Make sure that the right side is facing the right side. The right side of the facing is facing the right side of the main fabric. Then you pin it together. After that, you will take it to the sewing machine and you go ahead to go and sew it like this. You are going to trace the shape. That is how you are going to sew it. So I'll go ahead to sew it now. So this is it after I am done sewing it. So after that, that sharp point, you are going to notch it. Make sure you did not notch your seam line. After that, I'm going to turn the facing to the back. Remember, we sew it at the front, so you are going to turn it to the back. So let's go ahead to go and iron it now. You are going to turn it to the back and you are going to iron the slit down. After that, you take your hemming gum and place it underneath the facing. So we are doing this to secure the facing to the main fabric. After that, this is what we have. As you can see, the slit is very neat. Now we need to join the front and the back together. So you are going to place the right side of the front, you are going to place it on the right side of the back. Then you pin it together. You pin the shoulder line, you pin it together. After you are done pinning it, you take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it by 1/2 inch. You are going to sew the both shoulders. This is it after I am done sewing it and I turn it to the right side. So this is the right side. Now the next thing to do is to mark the neckline. We need to go ahead to go and add the bias to the neckline. So I will start measuring it from one side. I'm going to measure it to the other slit. After I am done measuring, I have 19.5 there. So this is the fabric I want to use for the bias now. So this is how I will just, from the one corner to the other corner, I'm going to mark a straight line there. Remember, this line will be like a slanted line. So this is it now. If you notice, if you stretch it at this point, the fabric is stretchy. So I'm going to cut it out. If you want me to make a detailed tutorial on how to make a bias with your choice of fabric, you can drop your comment under the description box. So from this point now, I'm going to mark 2 inches. This is how the length of my bias. So I'll mark 2 inches. I'll mark it down. So after that, you are going to cut it out. So this is it. As you can see, the fabric is stretchy, and that is what we want. So I'm going to take the one that I've cut out and I'm going to place it on another fabric. Then you are going to cut it out. So after cutting it out, this is what we have. So I'm going to place the both on each other like this. I'm joining it together because I don't have enough fabric. So you are going to take it to your sewing machine and you are going to sew it down. So this is it now. After I am done joining it, this is what we have for the bias. As you can see, it's still stretching, and that is what we want because we are using it for the neckline. So what I will do now is I'm going to fold the both side. I'm going to fold it in. I'll fold it half inch, then I will do the same thing for the other side. You are going to fold both sides by half inch. You are going to fold it inside. So make sure you cut out the excess you have, that pointy part. You are going to cut it out, so we don't need it. So after that, I will take it to my ironing table and I'm going to go ahead to go and fold it. So this is it after I am done folding it. After folding it half, I fold it again. So here I have half inch there. Like I said, if you want me to make a detailed tutorial to make a bias with your choice of fabric, you can drop it under the description box and I will make a tutorial on that. So here, this is the bias now. I'll open it up and place the neckline inside of the bias. Remember, we fold the bias into four like that. So I'll open it up and I'm going to place the neckline inside the bias. So I'm going to go ahead to go and sew it round, then come back to show you the next thing you are going to do. So after joining the bias to the neckline, this is what we have. As you can see, the neckline is very neat and you will not even know we added anything. The next thing is to add the band to the sleeve side, and this is the sleeve side now. I already cut out a piece of fabric here, and this fabric is measuring the length is measuring the length of the sleeve, and in width I have it in 5 inches. So if I fold it up like this into two now, I will have 2.5 there. So I have 2.5 there. So if I open it up, I have 5 inches. So you are going to fold it like this. Then you are going to place that opening part, you are going to place it on the sleeve. After that, I will pin it. You are going to pin it together. After you are done pinning it, you are going to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it by 1/2 inch. And you are going to do the same thing for the other sleeve as well. So you are going to do the same thing. So let me go ahead to go and sew it and come back to show you the next thing. So this is it after I am done joining the band to the sleeve. This is what we have, and this is the second band as well. The next thing is to join the sides together. So I'm going to fold the front and the back. I'll fold it together like this. After folding, I'm going to pin it down. When you are pinning it, make sure you remove the tool. If you notice that the tool is getting on your way, you are going to remove it. You are going to put it inside. So I'm pinning the both side. After pinning it, I will take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it by 1/2 inch. You do the same thing on the other side. After you are done joining the both side, you will come to the hem part and you are going to fold the hem by the allowance you added when you are cutting it. I'm going to fold this by 1 inch. I'll fold it round. After I am done, I'm going to show you the next thing to do. So this is what we have now for the gown. This is how the gown is. This is the pocket and this is the hem now. I already fold it by 1 inch. So what I want to do next is to add the rope on the sleeve side. So I'll go ahead to go and cut out the rope for the sleeve. So here I already cut out the fabric. Is measuring 1.5 in width and is very long. I'm going to join the two together to make it one. If you have enough fabric, you don't need to join it. So I'm going to join the both together to make it one piece. After you are done sewing it, if you open it up, this is how it's going to be. As you can see, we have the rope. The rope is very long, and this is how you are going to sew it. You are going to take both edge, you are going to fold it in 1/2 inch like this. Then you are going to fold it again. So it means I folded it into 4. So now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it down. I will repeat the same process for the other part. So this is the 2 rope now. After I am done sewing it, this is what we have. To join the rope to the sleeve, you are going to fold the sleeve into 2 like this. So you are going to notch that center part, just mark it, you don't need to notch. So you are going to place the rope underneath it, not outside. You are going to place it inside the center of the sleeve. That is where you are going to place it. Then you are going to pin it like this. So this is how it's going to be. You are going to repeat the same process for this other sleeve. Fold it into 2. Then the center of the sleeve, that is where you are going to be placing the center of the rope. So you place it inside, not outside. Then you are going to pin this as well. After you are done pinning, this is how the rope is. So this is how it's going to be. So you take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to just stop stitch it like 2 times. You do the same thing for this other side as well. So this is what we have. After you are done sewing it, then you are going to tie it like this. So this is how the rope is going to be. You do the same thing for this other end. This is what we have for the gown now. So here is the final look of this tutorial. If you have watched this video to this point, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video to your family and friends. If you have a tutorial you want me to make, just drop your question under the description of this video. I will do it to answer you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.